Good morning, everybody. Welcome to PhotoJoseph's Photo Moment. As always, if you're watching this not live, you want to skip ahead to the beginning of the actual show, scroll down. There'll be a time code down there that you can click on and skip past the morning hellos. Morning, good morning, everybody. Look at this chat room's already filled up. People chatting away in here. Okay, seriously, Fuse, you've been in here for 4 hours. That's a little early. Just saying, that's a little early. I see a lot of people talking about the B&H stream from yesterday. Yeah, it was interesting. It was good, but you're right. I don't think there was anything really new in there, although I don't expect there would have been anything new. I mean, after all, pretty much all the information about the camera is public at this point, so probably not much they could have revealed. But it was interesting to hear some of the filmmakers talking about their takes on it, what they like or don't like. I don't know if anybody said anything they don't like, but what they really appreciated about it, a couple of what they would like to see in future generations. So it was a good conversation. I enjoyed it. They did definitely have some technical problems, though, didn't they? Yeah, audio was quiet. It was out of sync. I mean, yep. Whoever somebody in there said they should have hired us. Well, there you go. There you go. Oh my goodness. Let's see, Jess says, in regards to the B&H stream, I laughed when one guy said he would have liked USB charging. I thought Sean covered that with PhotoJoseph. Yeah, that's right, Sean did cover that. And it is one of those things, I agree. I mean, I really do wish that the camera had it, because it's the GX85 that has that USB charging. And I think, yeah, that camera, I think it doesn't come with a wall charger. I think it only comes with a USB cable to charge the camera. And I remember thinking, well, this is dumb. I mean, come on, people want to charge the battery in the wall. And you can buy a charger for it, right? And I already had one because it's the same battery as, I don't remember, LX100 maybe or something, doesn't matter. Anyway, but my audio is out of sync. I don't see how that's even possible. Nope, it's in sync on my image, so that means it's in sync going to the stream, so it's something on the other end. Out of sync, everybody's saying it's out of sync. Out of sync on the public. Well, not sure what to do about that. Let me think here. If we kill the stream and restart it, that might. Yeah, yep, it's everybody saying it's out of sync. Yeah, there's nothing changed, and the image, it's on. Let's make sure. Hold on. No. Yep, it's there's only one place for it to be. Huh. All right, well, Ryan, I guess. Okay, stop the stream from Wirecast and then start it up again. So the stream's going to interrupt, guys. Hopefully it'll come back to the same show. Fingers crossed this is going to work.
Oh yeah, my fault. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Just to turn it off and back on. Because if it's off for too long, then we could lose the connection to the actual show.
Okay.
Tell me when I'm live again, Ryan.
I had already hit it back on, but it's still showing a 2-second delay.
Wow, 2 seconds. Jesus. Okay. So, are we back? Back, but it's still out a tad. Is it better than it was?
What I see on Wirecast is in sync, but the public view.
Yeah, if what you see in Wirecast is in sync, then we're in sync, because that's what I'm seeing here. It's the same thing you see in Wirecast. Trevor, if we reboot, we're done. And it's not us, because the stream is really 2 seconds delay. That is so annoying. Good 1 second out. So it's varying for people, anywhere from 1 to 4 seconds I've seen reports of. I think someone said 4. Wow. Ryan, you've checked the...
Health is good.
Sorry?
Yeah, the stream health is good.
Stream health is good, but you've checked the live stream in the Chrome window that you have?
Yes.
You're seeing it out of sync there as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's super lame. It's something on the YouTube side. Okay, we're gonna... Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna redo it. I'm gonna lower the bandwidth. We're gonna have to be really quick about it. I'm gonna do this, Ryan. Don't stop it. Guys, I'll be right back. All right, guys. Let's see if it makes any difference. Test, 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 test. Are we any better? Are we back to being in sync? Or are we out of sync? Or I'm hearing people. Oh, it must be my neighbors talking. Okay, guys, spot on. Sweet. Okay, excellent. So what I did was I lowered the bandwidth. I'd been just a little FYI. This is an interesting thing about Wirecast. Awesome. Got everybody saying it's great. Super duper. It's an interesting thing about Wirecast. You have presets in Wirecast they use the what is it? An Apple encoder or some other MPEG encoder. I don't remember which. Anyway, what it's called. But there's two different encoders. And the Apple one is defaults to a 6 megabit, and the other one defaults at 4.5 or 4 megabit, whatever it is. Close, 4.5, I think. And when I had been using the Pearl, we went for the full 6 megabit, and it was fine. And whenever I tried to use the Apple codec with the 6 megabit, it was kind of very hit or miss. The show would completely not stream, or it would. So I didn't use the Apple one, I was using the other one, which is 4.5. And I thought, hold on a second, I can use the other one and set it, manually configure it for 6 megabit. And we did that, and that's what we've been doing for the last week or so, and it's been fine. But apparently, not always. So what I did was I just reset it, and it's kind of finicky in Wirecast when you change the preset, the encoding preset, it resets which show it's going to. So I have to be very careful and I have to wait. It takes several seconds for it to refresh to choose the show, the right show, this one, to stream out to. But if you're offline for too long, then YouTube just shuts the whole show down. So it's a bit of a... But we got it, and it works. And people say I'm in sync. This is excellent. Jason liked it better when it was in Kung Fu mode. Well, I can continue to do that if you prefer. We can do the rest of the show like this. I think it would be a very good show, actually. It could be a lot of fun, although it may be very, very tiring. Okay, I'm already exhausted. And Ryan's not laughing, so that must have not been a good joke.
Actually, that was funny.
Oh, it was funny? Oh, good. So now I'm getting approval. It was funny.
Walking and Captain Kirk at the same time.
What? A Wookiee and Captain Kirk? I can't actually hear him through my ears. It's just like a ambient. Anyway, let's get this show started, shall we, now that we're up and running? Let's see here. Mark is saying you get an ad every time you refresh. That's good. That means I make more money, so I'm good with that. You skip as soon as it lets me. I think it had issues with yesterday as well, coming into the stream late. So yesterday we did have issues. We were dropping out. That's right. Because sadly, yesterday I did not record a backup, which I am recording now, which actually I'm going to restart because now I got like massive bunch of garbage on the backup. Yesterday's stream was all screwy, and we had people commenting that it was screwy. Pieces drawer dropped out of nowhere. All right, let's get this thing going. Should we do this thing? My good Lord. It was like Christopher Walken and Captain Kirk at the same time. Ryan, that is bizarre, but okay. Chung Sing is saying, can I show the slow motion playback menu? That is scheduled for, I think, tomorrow's show, so we're going to be doing that tomorrow. All right, guys, let's have a show, shall we? A little sip of this, and then we'll get started. This time it's tea. It's not coffee. It looks like coffee. It's very black. The throat's still a little, The wife is homesick. I don't know if she's watching. If you are, hi, honey. I told you, man, kids, they're walking viruses. Get everybody sick. All right, let's do this thing. Good morning and welcome to PhotoJoseph's Photo Moment, the first live daily photo show on the YouTubes every weekday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. If you're not watching live, you could be, and you should be. Tune in, because it's a lot of fun. You get to chat, I get to respond. It's kind of fun. And you get the whole preamble, which is always a joy. Well, at least I think so. Okay, so today's show is about editing footage from one of these on one of these. In fact, I think you can even do this on your iPhone, although I haven't tested the 4K 60p yet on the iPhone, just on the iPad. But this started off as a little supposed test that I was going to do over the weekend, little GH5 test shoot. I went on a sunrise hike, so pre-dawn, very dark hike, up to this place called Table Rock, this beautiful area, beautiful view of the valley up here, down here in Southern Oregon. And unfortunately, the sun never came up. It was one of those, like, it finally came up on Monday or Tuesday at some point, but Sunday was dead. So I didn't get the whole dynamic range, super beautiful sunrise thing that I was hoping to get, but it turned into an interesting low light, real world scenario low light video. Now that video has been published. That was just released at 9:30 this morning, along with a couple other ones. I had done, these would be my third kind of vlog, we're gonna call it vlog video. And the earlier ones I did around Adobe Max when I was out there, and they were kind of embedded as part of the photo moment, and they had like 6 views, like nobody saw it. So I just redid those videos, re-uploaded those on their own. So don't go right this second, because watch this, but at the end of this show, you can click through to the playlist that'll show up at the end of the show and watch the 3 separate little vloggy videos. This is just kind of my first little attempt at vloggy things, but one of them is with the GH5, edited primarily on this, but then finished in Final Cut, and that's what we're going to talk about a bit. Anyway, so I wanted to do the edit on Sunday when I was at home, and I thought, you know, I'm going to play with doing this on the iPad. Can the iPad handle the 4K 60p footage out of this thing, which is what I shot? So that was the big test. Real quick in the comments, Jorge is asking, what can you say about SD cards and the expected 400 megabit bitrate? And for now, a Lexar 1000X UHS-2 will work flawlessly. So any UHS-2 card will handle the 400 megabit. That's my understanding. I don't have lists of specs, but UHS-2 cards are the fastest ones. If you're buying new cards, definitely buy UHS-2. If you already have cards, I'm still shooting with my standard UHS-1. What is this thing? This is a SDXC 600 speed, and I can shoot everything on this camera that it does today, no problem. It's when you get into the 400 megabit that you're going to need that. But remember as well, having the faster card does benefit you, even if you're not shooting video, because it'll clear out the buffer when you're shooting RAW faster. But any UHS-2 card will absolutely do. Okay, so let's go back to this. So I wanted to edit. So I've got this handy dandy little SD card lightning, what do you call this thing? SD card lightning reader. If you're using an iPad Pro and you have this reader, the new generation of this reader, you get USB 3 performance off of it. If you use the older reader, you get USB 2. If you use the new reader on a non-iPad Pro, you get USB 2. But you put these two together and you get USB 3 speeds, which is tremendously fast. Really fast, right? So I shot that morning, with this camera, with the GH5 at 60p 4K. I wanted the 60p so I could do slowdowns, although now that I think about it in the editing, I didn't actually do any slowdowns. Whatever. I shot it in 60p. And 4K 60p on this camera, I shot in manual exposure. I set it to 180 degree shutter, and I was shooting with this lens, the 12 to 35 f2.8. This is the Mark 1. I don't have one of the new ones. And so it's shot manual exposure, 180 degree shutter at f2.8, and then I put the ISO in auto. And this is one of the cool new features of the GH5, is that you can do auto ISO when in manual mode, which really opens things up a little bit. If you're not concerned too much about a specific ISO because of noise performance or anything like that, you can choose your aperture and your shutter speed or shutter angle and just shoot and let the camera go up and down on the ISO as needed. I think that is a fantastic feature, and so that's how I shot this thing. Now, the video started in pitch black, so it was absolutely maxed out at 12,800 ISO. That's the max, by the way. And you can set in the auto settings on the camera, you can set where you want it to max. If you only want it to go as high as 800 or 16 or whatever, you can set that, which is pretty slick. But I set it 12,800, go to town. The vast majority of the footage is that super high ISO, super low light, quite grainy, but as you'll see, very, very livable. So again, that final video you can watch. We'll look at little snippets of it. I'm not going to play the whole video here. You can, after the show, you can go watch the whole video. So anyway, so I imported with this thing. I wanted to see, can the iPad handle it? And you know what? It can. I was like, are you kidding me? 4K 60p editing on my stupid iPad. It's remarkable. This thing is so stinking powerful. So I started editing in iMovie. So let's take a quick look at iMovie in here, and I'll show you little basics of this, and you can see how this thing started. So we shot a little bit indoors to begin with. I shot a little bit indoors to begin with, just making the coffee, and then it goes into some outdoor stuff. So let me just play through a few seconds of this, and you can see, let's do this so I can go full screen, hit the done, and hit play, and let's just see what this looks like. Sorry, let's start that over. I didn't realize the sound had turned off. Here we go.
We are, for some godforsaken reason, up at the crack of a sparrow's fart. We're going to Table Rock. We're going to Table Rock.
We are going.
Which is like an hour and something away, so we got a ways to wait.
37 minutes away.
30? Really? That's it?
The way I drive.
I should do this more often. 37 minutes, not 36. Like Bo, we're leaving at 5:36 a.m.
Just saying.
Just saying. It's very dark in here.
All right, so there's just a little teaser of that. And you saw once I got out of the kitchen and making the coffee, we're in the dark. And you'll see, I mean, clearly there's some noise in those images, no doubt about it. But it's livable. I mean, oops, sorry, I forgot to go back to this camera. I'm totally pleased with it. Man, something is kicking off like into high gear. And that's my laptop for some reason. It's totally livable. So let me go back into the editing mode on here. And I want to show you some of the things you can do in iMovie. And I'm going to talk about what I found as an alternative to iMovie, because it got a lot better. There's something way better out there, which I only just discovered. So let's go back to this. And when you import into here, okay, I'm sorry, let me back up a little bit. When you import with this thing, you don't import into iMovie, you import to the camera roll. Pardon me. It's dead easy. You put your card in. I can't show it to you live because the video out and this can't be plugged in at the same time. But you put in your card, plug this into the computer, into the iPad. It just pops up and you see your clips and you tap the ones you want to import or you hit import all and that's it. I mean, it's, brain dead simple. No metadata adjustment, no renaming. It's just boom, it's there. So then once they're in there, you go into iMovie, create a new project, start importing clips. Easy, easy. And then you start putting them on the timeline. So let's go back to this now. So here we got some clips on the timeline and you'll see some of these like that clip there has got audio on it. And you can see, and I can't point or pinch, but you see where the playhead is. There's a little waveform on there. So that's that sound of the coffee thing, grinding away, which I guess you don't hear. Oh wait, I turned off the audio. Oh, that's built in my preset. That's why. Okay, I gotta remember to turn that off. There you go. So you can hear that audio there. And the music in the background is there, but it's super, super quiet. So this is one of those really annoying things about iMovie and why I got frustrated with it. iMovie has this auto ducking feature, which if you don't know anything about video, it can be very handy to put your clip on there that has audio, throw music on, and the background music automatically ducks below the level of the ambient audio, the NAT sound, or we know what's on the clip, so that you can hear both. Thing is, you can't turn that off. And that was driving me crazy because in here I wanted the music at full volume, but then just to hear the background of the coffee grinder a little bit quietly. When I get into people talking, then I want it to duck down. But you can't control that. A little frustrating. Also in iMovie, when you add clips, it automatically puts a transition between them. And the most basic default theme, it puts a stupid cross dissolve between it. Do I really want every shot to have a cross dissolve between it? No, that is the answer. So every single shot I have to go in and change it, set it to cut, set it to cut, set it to cut. Super tedious and annoying. But let's face it, it is dead easy to edit in here. You simple titler, throw your stuff together and hit export. But here's one of the things that I ran into, one of the other things I ran into that surprised me. So I brought in, as I said, 4K 60p. Edited in here, there's no indication in iMovie of what resolution, what frame rate you're at. I exported from iMovie to YouTube, and the video on YouTube was 4K, but only 30p. What's that all about? So I waited, let YouTube do its thing. Maybe it's just taking time. Nope, nothing. So then I came back into the studio, and one of the really cool things about editing in iMovie on the iPad is that you can take that iMovie project from your iPad, copy it over to your desktop, open it into iMovie on the desktop, and then from there send it to Final Cut. So if you're a Final Cut editor, you can start on the iPad and finish on Final Cut. You just have to go through iMovie, which is weird, but whatever, it works. So that is crazy, crazy cool. So I get it in there and I see, okay, it's set to 4K 30p. But the media was all 4K 60, so it's not like it transcoded it. It's just that iMovie only did 4K 30. Dang, that's annoying. I really want that full 60p experience. And I'm already frustrated with some of the editing things. So I dug around a little bit, posted some stuff on Facebook, and I found out that there are some other editing tools out there that I wasn't even aware of. So one of the apps that I found was called Pinnacle Pro. Now, Pinnacle Pro looked really promising, and I paid the $13 or something for it, downloaded it, and as soon as it opened, there's a little tutorial button. I hit the tutorial button. It says, this product is no longer development or supported, but we're providing these videos just for your entertainment and to learn. I'm going, really? I just bought a discontinued product? Lame. So I dug around a little bit more. And as far as I can tell, it's kind of weird, but as far as I can tell, the company that makes that software, Pinnacle Pro, sold it to Corel, who's distributing an old app. But then the folks that make Pinnacle, whose name is now escaping me, developed a whole new version of the app called Lumafusion. And this is currently in active development. It's fairly new, but it looks very similar to Pinnacle Pro. Hey, why not? But man, this thing is powerful. So that's what I'm going to show you very briefly here. I want to show you Pinnacle Fusion. So this is Pinnacle Fusion. Just to show you some of the cool things on here. Let's see here. You get full metadata on your clips. So here I can see the resolution. I can see the aspect ratio. Look at that. It is, you see timing. Oh, I think, hold on a second. This had, that's right, where did I get into this? This has a show touch feature, I think. Didn't I see that somewhere? Maybe not. I thought I saw a show. Oh yeah, show touches. Haha, there we go. Perfect, look at that. Now I can show you things. Okay, let me open this. Here you see it shows timing, 21 seconds at 59.94. So that is a 59.94 project. Beautiful. The project itself, I can set to what frame rate I want. Boom, 60. I don't know why it doesn't say 59.94, but it is. That's your 60p. I can do very precise editing on here. Now there is not a built-in frame, what do you call it does not have a trim tool that lets you go frame by frame, but it's coming, apparently. I got for now, what you can do is triple tap on the screen and it zooms into frame level, so you can trim frame by frame. The previous app that was discontinued had a frame by frame editor, really, really cool. Plus, because one of the things I've been missing is this whole export, apparently they are already testing EDL export out of here. So you could do an edit on here, and if you really did want to take this into Final Cut and finish it, you could export an EDL, and that's coming, apparently. That's insanely cool. This also has, let's see here, this also has, remember how to get to this? Nope, that's not where I wanted, projects. There we go. Check out all the audio. Individual tracks, you can change the audio levels on. You get full audio level meters in here. You can have, it's 3 tracks of video, 3 tracks of audio. It's insane. And this is all on a stinking iPad. It's really, really remarkable. So I am crazy impressed with this app. We will put a link to this down below. I was going to do it before the show, but I didn't get time to. But if you're watching this not live, scroll down. You'll see a link to it. This one is $20 on the App Store. I mean, $20 for an editor like this is crazy bargain. It is incredibly, incredibly robust and powerful. I'm super impressed. So if you want to do editing with your GH5, I'm going to talk about a ultra portable package, right? Your iPad Pro and a GH5, and that's that's incredible, right? That is remarkable. 4K 60 editing on there. Like I said, I am super impressed with that. So do check that out. If you're shooting on this and you've got one of these, the Pro version, I would imagine the non-Pro have a little bit of time with that footage. If you got a Pro version, then you've got a hell of an editing suite. And because it does the 60p, you can output 60p to YouTube from here. Has a robust titler in it, has color grading in it. It's incredible. It's wow. So check that out. I'll put the link down below again. I'll look for you guys later. All right, that's what I wanted to show you today. Let me just scroll back. There's a few comments that flew by. Let's see here. Clouder TV said, could you use a GH5 for stills? Would you? I guess it's a would. Would you use a GH5 for stills over the A7R2? Okay, Clouder, I am a Lumix luminary. I'm sponsored by Panasonic. So I am completely biased when I say, hell yeah. Now look, I know that the Sony is the low light king. There's no question about that. If your world revolves around shooting really, really low light, then the Sony might be a better choice for you. That's just, you can't argue the low light performance of the Sony full frame A7, blah, blah, blah. But pry this from my cold dead hands. This camera is remarkable. Again, biased. Admittedly, very biased. Scroll down, read the disclaimer. Absolutely biased, 100%. I'm not going to tell you to buy Sony because these guys support me and I love, love, love the products. But the Sony is clearly a very, very good camera. So there you go. There's my non-answer for you. All right. Yeah, and by the way, if you want to throw me a chat and you want me to see it, make sure you @PhotoJoseph'me because then it highlights red in my screen and I see it. Or for those watching live, there's that little $ button, which definitely gets my attention as well. Okay, let's see here. Other comments. Martin says, Sony is for vampires. Sony is for vampires. Not making a reference, I'm sure, at the people. It's more about shooting in the middle of the night. And GH5 is for the rest of the living world. That's funny. Clouder TV shoots landscapes. I mean, seriously. It's a great camera. It's a great camera. Look, there's going to be a lot of comparison reviews. These cameras just started shipping, right? So that means that now all the reviewers are going to be getting their hands on them. You will see a billion YouTube videos comparing this camera to basically everything else out there. You're going to find the people who are biased and won't tell you, who say, oh, this is clearly better. You're going to find the people that are biased to Sony and will tell you, oh, this is clearly better. You're going to find haters. You're going to find the lovers. They're all over the place. Watch as many videos as you can. If people don't tell you in advance whether they are biased or have an influence or not, then consider everything they say as speculative. That's the wrong word. Suspect. That's the word. I try to make it clear up front that I am absolutely biased. There's just no two ways around it. And like I said, the Sony's a great camera. You can't buy a bad camera today, honestly. They're all good. The Fuji, amazing. The Sonys are amazing. The Olympus are amazing. Canons and Nikons, they're amazing. They're just, 5 years behind. This is great stuff. It's great tech. So if you like the stuff that's in here, buy it. When it comes to the video, there's nothing that does what this camera does. So keep that in mind. There is that. That's just fact. Tommy's asking how I became a luminary. Relationships and time. I was shooting Panasonic. I got introduced to someone on the team, led to another introduction. It took a year of discussing, and finally I got invited to be a part of the team. It's pretty much all there's to it. There's no like magic bullet to it. Sorry. Okay, Martin Pitt saying you suspect improvements via firmware, so we'll see little tweaks. Oh, absolutely. That's one of the beauties of these modern cameras is the firmware updates. And I can't speak to other manufacturers. I have no idea what companies like Sony do via firmware updates. I would hope they're doing the same thing that Panasonic does. Panasonic is not just fixing bugs. They add new features in firmware updates, which is just remarkable. I think that is crazy, crazy cool. It's the new world order, right? Your iPad and iPhone become more powerful, more capable as it upgrades. Your Tesla can become more powerful and capable as it upgrades. Your camera can. So these days, if you're buying any hardware that can't be upgraded, it's like, oh, really? What's the point? So there you go. Okay, that's it. That was today's show. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of this. So bail out of here, watch the full video that I showed you a little bit of. It's not, remarkable filmmanship or anything like that, but it's cool because it's shot like in the dark and the sun never came up, so it's not exactly pretty, but whatever. Go check it out. That's it. I'm out of here, guys. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is the VFR demo because people were asking how to get into VFR slow motion mode on the camera, so we're going to take a look at that tomorrow. That's it. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.